news right now. Clarksville police are in the middle of a standoff with a bank robbery suspect. News Channel 5's Blake Rosnowski joins us live from outside the Motel 6 on Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. And Blake, have police made any progress getting this guy out?
Well, what we're told is that they have tried to contact him. We've heard them going over a loudspeaker, although we can't entirely hear what they're saying. But they're telling me he has not actually communicated with them at all this morning. And they actually did just deploy tear gas into the room. We heard some loud banging noises, and that's what it turns out that was. It's hard to see because the sun's coming up now, but just above these cars, you can see where this Motel 6 is. They're keeping us back to obviously keep us safe because they do believe that this man is considered armed and dangerous, and he is wanted for a robbery that actually took place yesterday around 2:15 in the afternoon. That was at a Bank of America on Madison Street, where he gave a clerk a note demanding money. He left with an undisclosed amount of cash there. He did not display a weapon at the time, but they do believe he may have gotten into an ice blue vehicle that was possibly a four-door Nissan. They say that they were called out here to this Motel 6 around 2 o'clock this morning, 2:15, where they've been working to get this man out there ever since. They have been able to evacuate everyone else from that Motel 6, and they say no one else is in the room with him. They also evacuated the neighboring McDonald's, and so far everyone is okay, and they are just working to try to get him out safely. For now, live in Clarksville, Blake Rosnowski, News Channel 5.
Blake, thanks. We'll check back in as soon as something happens. And some more breaking news overnight. Doctors at Vanderbilt are working to save a man after a possible robbery turned into a shooting, and it was all over a case of beer.
News Channel 5's Sophie Nelson-Colding joins us live from the scene on South Hamilton Road at Clarksville Pike. Okay, so Sophie, if I understand this correctly, so this guy stole a case of beer, and then the clerk, I guess, chased him and shot him?
That's the clerk's side of the story, at least. Police found the man shot just over here on the sidewalk. That's after he ran from that quick sack over there. Police say the clerk told them that sometime around 2:30 this morning, a man came into the quick sack and tried to steal a case of beer, told the clerk that he had a gun on him. You can see we were here earlier. Police were blocking off the whole gas station all the way down the sidewalk with that crime scene tape. Crime scene investigators were here trying to pick up evidence. They found a lot of shell casings. Police say that that clerk followed the man out of the store and then shot at him multiple times, hitting him once in the thigh as he was trying to get away. Police are now trying to figure out if this was possibly at all in self-defense, interviewing both the clerk and the man who was shot, who's at Vanderbilt right now, receiving treatment from doctors. But the scene is clear now, and police are trying to investigate. They never located a second gun here. So while that man in the store said he had one, at this point, police haven't found any evidence that he actually did have a gun. None of the surveillance cameras out here were working, and so police aren't able to look at any footage of the actual shooting. Live in Bordeaux, Sophie Nelson-Colding, News Channel 5.
And happening today, friends and family will gather to remember a 15-year-old who was shot and killed this week. Whites Creek High School freshman Jeremiah Shelton was shot Wednesday night. Now, we brought you details of the arrest of 19-year-old Joshua Hockett live yesterday morning. Hockett claims they were play fighting and he shot him. Shelton will be honored with a vigil tonight at Berkshire Apartments, and it starts at 6:30.
A man who police say shot a Metro officer now faces federal gun charges in that case. Justin Jones was arrested Wednesday at the Sudicum Public Housing Development. He now faces 3 counts of unlawful gun possession by a convicted felon. Officer Jerry Hutchison was treated and released from the hospital yesterday.
Well, it's a shocking case of child abuse that put 2 people behind bars. Police were called to this home on Cypress Drive in Murfreesboro and found a child naked and covered in filth. They say the boy suffers from autism and that his mother, Sharon Robinson, hadn't had water at her home for a month. Robinson told police that's why she couldn't clean or send her child to school. She also blamed the situation on meth use. Police arrested her and Bradley Hill for child neglect and abuse.
You see a large number of cases where children whose parents are using drugs are neglecting them.
If there is a child that you know and you suspect abuse, call the Tennessee Department of Children's Services. The number is 877-237-0004.
In an exclusive interview with News Channel 5, Nashville Mayor Megan Barry says she's prepared to cut a check for any improper use of taxpayer money. This comment comes amid 2 separate investigations surrounding the scandal at City Hall.
My love for this city is so deep, and I'm just so sorry for where we are at the moment.
Mayor Berry resumed her public speaking schedule yesterday, just a week after admitting a 2-year affair with her police bodyguard. She has insisted she did not misuse taxpayer resources, but in this interview with Phil Williams yesterday, she said she's instructed her attorney to work with the TBI to identify any expenditures that investigators may question.
He will work with them and figure out what's going to happen next.
Are you prepared to write a check if there's anything that's remotely questionable?
I will own any of this as this investigation goes forward. I've said that from the very beginning. Anything that I need to do to remedy anything, I'll make that the reality.
The TBI is looking into any potential misuse of money, and Tuesday night, Metro Council voted to create a special committee to investigate as well. And speaking of the TBI, after 14 years, the longtime director of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Mark Gwynn, announces he's stepping down. Recently, Gwynn faced a critical state audit for financial management of the agency, and an exclusive News Channel 5 investigation uncovered questionable hiring practices. Gwynn hired the children of some TBI bigwigs as special agents, passing over more experienced veterans. But the TBI director denied any wrongdoing, and in a letter to TBI employees, Gwynn says this is the right time for him to retire. His last day will be June 1st. There's a new scam tricking people into thinking they owe the government money.
Yeah, and callers are claiming to be police, and then they're threatening to arrest you unless you pay up. Dr. Carrie Gannon got one of these calls, and she says they knew her social security number, her birthday, and even a board that she sits on. They even knew she was a doctor, and that if she was arrested, it could mean problems for her career.
So I had a $3,000 fine and up to 60 days in jail, but if I would turn myself in, they would make certain it didn't go on my record, and my medical licensure and my DEA number and everything would not be at risk.
Well, the scammers got $3,000 from the doctor. Police say if you ever receive a call from someone claiming to be police, you should take down the phone number that called you, then hang up and call the police phone number listed online to confirm the story.